What's going on, guys, and welcome to the final preview and prediction video of the year. I've already covered as many other groups as I could, so check them out before we get back to our normal videos. And if you'd like to see this series return next year, let me know down in the comments. Today, we'll be covering NewJeans. Now, before we begin, I know there's probably a ton of other groups that I could have previewed, but I haven't talked about NewJeans in ages. And without knowing their future position in the industry, now is probably like the only time, if ever. So, I'm not sure if you guys know this about me, but NewJeans are the reason why I'm even here. Prior to them, I had no idea about the existence of K-pop, and ever since I heard OMG, I never looked back. And this was around early 2023 when they were the face of the industry. I mean, they were everywhere. They were in commercials, games, on the radio, all over social media. And it didn't matter where I would go, I would always hear their music somewhere. Whether it's at the mall, at a sports game, hell, even just out on the street, I just couldn't escape from them. But even so, I've never been so obsessed about a group. I mean, I remember how often I would binge their music throughout the day, and even their YouTube content was really entertaining. And that's coming from somebody in the US. I can't speak on what it's like for other countries, but I really felt like their impact was felt all over the world. And there are only like a handful of groups that have this level of presence, such as BLACKPINK and Twice. Now, after running this channel for a couple years, I've seen some really amazing groups, but I have yet to see anyone on the level of NewJeans. I mean, talk about being one of the greatest groups of all time. Within just 2 years in the industry, they led the fourth generation in total day songs, which is the greatest achievement in the world of K-pop, and they had 11 at the time. 11. That's just unheard of. Now, since then, they've been dethroned by aespa, who I think has about 16 right now, and they're stepping on the heels of Twice, who has 18. So imagine how that conversation will look like in a few years about who's the greatest of all time. But ever since Supernatural, things took a tumble for the group, and have been on a hiatus since then. But even still, they were winning day songs, which I found pretty funny. I will say this though, and I have great confidence about this, but if they were still active today, no bullshit, I think they probably would have had over 20 day songs by now. I mean, just the power they had was ridiculous, and the fact that they achieved significantly more than the majority of groups out there in such a short time frame just showed us the true potential that they had. Now, I wouldn't say that they were super duper talented, but they were pretty solid top to bottom. But what I think mattered the most is that they made K-pop a lot of fun by bringing back the Y2K concept. From what I've seen before them, there was more of a focus on elegance, hip-hop, and a bit of the girl crush concepts. But NewJeans really brought in such a bright and youthful atmosphere that made the K-pop world look so colorful. Think of Super Shy, Attention, ETA, and so on. They had such a phenomenal discography, even though it's really small, it's full of 4th gen classics, whether you want to admit it or not. And I would say that they are the inspiration for so many groups within the 5th generation taking up similar styles. And I know people are gonna be like, oh, they're copying NewJeans. Who gives a shit? If that's what they want, then let them have it. Nobody owns a concept. Now, if they were to return, I think it would make things really awkward between them and Hybe, as they've been pretty much at each other's throats since the beginning of all this legal trouble. Now, I'll say this. In the beginning, I was on the side of NewJeans. Like, I kinda saw where they were coming from. They really loved Min Hee-jin as their creative director and refused anybody else, which is fair, I guess. But over time, it was kind of getting ridiculous because it was clear that Hybe did not want to move forward with Min Hee-jin, and they gave NewJeans practically all the time in the world to return without any consequences. So if I were one of the members, I would have just returned because in the end, Min Hee-jin parted ways anyway, so really it just felt like a huge waste of time. Some people might speculate and say that there was some foul play here, or even manipulation by Min Hee-jin, but if it were up to me, I'd just move on. I mean, nothing lasts forever, so for example, especially if you work in the corporate world, you know what I'm talking about, and that's that people come and go all the time. That could be your colleagues, clients, that could be your boss, hell, even yourself, right? So, same thing here. And we've even seen other groups go through the same thing, like Kiss of Life, for example, where the original creative director left after Igloo, and they're still making some great music today. So this whole ordeal has just been an embarrassment on both sides. I mean, even today, Hybe is still going after Danielle and are practically trying to bury her financially. I personally don't see the point of this. Like, I get it, she breached the contract, but damn, there's no point of, there's no point of ruining her life when you're like the biggest company in the industry. Like, it just feels like they're being petty at this point. Now, besides all of that, could we see an OT5 NewJeans ever again? Hypothetically, yes. If Hybe decides to drop all this legal garbage and stop wasting time, yeah, it's very much possible. But realistically, I doubt it. I mean, we still don't even know the status of Minji's return, so for now, it just looks like it's OT3. Now, if they moved forward with that, I think it would be really weird because both Danielle and Minji were huge pillars of NewJeans. Huge. And without them, it just wouldn't be the same. And because of that, I don't think they'd be in the race for serious contention in the fourth generation any longer. And especially now, since the fourth generation has been dominating the scene for a while, lots of groups are reaching their prime status, and the fifth generation has so many rising groups that I think it would give NewJeans one hell of a challenge, assuming they return as OT3 or even OT4. But in OT5 NewJeans, I don't think anybody could top that. No offense. They were just way too overpowered for anybody. Like, I'm talking BLACKPINK status. Some people might consider that a reach, but I genuinely believe that they were next in line to reach such a magnitude as BLACKPINK. I mean, if not them, then who? Man, this just really sucks, because I'm still stuck on what could have been if they never had these issues, and I'll admit, ever since their hiatus, K-pop just hasn't really been hitting the same for me. It's still really good, don't get me wrong, but looking back at like 2022 to 2024, those were some really great years for K-pop. Sadly, I think NewJeans will probably remain as one of the biggest what-ifs in the K-pop world for years to come, but hopefully I'm wrong. But what about you guys? What are your thoughts on NewJeans? Think they'll ever make a full recovery? Let me know down in the comments below. And there it is, my final preview and prediction video of the year. I know I was kind of late with this one, had some things get in my way, but at least now we can move on to the main videos for the year. And like I mentioned, I've covered a ton of groups already if you want to check those out in the meantime. And if you're new here, I hope you stick around. Now, if you enjoyed the video, then please drop a like, as that does help me out a lot here, and consider subscribing for future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.